Hey FlossTube, I'm Kathleen and this is StitchuationNormal episode 40. I will welcome myself back, but I'll also welcome you all back to my channel. I'm a Southern Ontario cross-stitcher, in case you thought StitchuationNormal was something else. I talk about cross-stitch, I talk about everything, and yeah, I mean, if you've been here before, you know. And if you're new, welcome and buckle up. I have some haul to show you because I went to the Craft Connection in Edmonton, and I have some WIPS because I've been doing March Stitchy Madness, which I'll talk about when I get to WIPS, and I'll give a little bit of a life update and comments from last time. So, okay, life update. Yes, I went to Edmonton to visit my brother. He just had a new baby. It's his third. So he has two other children that are older, but like still fairly young. So I went to kind of help out for a few days there. And oh my gosh, newborn snuggles, love them, missed snuggling babies. He's very cute, my new nephew, and the older two are really cute too, but new baby, right? I feel like because of COVID, it's been a long time since I've been able to really snuggle newborns or like be around new babies, other than for work. Sometimes I photograph newborns. But yes, it was a really nice visit, and he took me to the Craft Connection. So I will show some video clips of it there because it was so beautiful inside. The finishing so beautiful. Linda is the owner and she's lovely. I happened to meet her when I was in there, and I asked if it was okay if I filmed some of the displays because the finishes are just beautiful. So check that out. I just want to stitch I keep wanting to say pendibule because that's what I have done already, but I want to do a biscornu. I don't know. I think I'm trying to say it French, but if I just say biscornu, no. I don't know how everyone says it. I want to say biscornu, but that's probably just a made up French word that I did. You know what I'm talking about though. Don't they look so beautiful? And like, so I might do it. Actually, I was talking to, it wasn't Linda, I think it might have been Susie at the Craft Connection, and she said if you've made a pendibule, you can make one of these. They're easier, which I don't know if I trust that, but I trust her because she knows what she's talking about. I just don't know if she knows my brain and how it operates. So it was inspiring seeing all the beautiful finishes. I love all the cubes too, like all the prairie schoolers that are turned into cubes, and oh, it was lovely. So that was a really fun highlight. I was only there, like I said, for a few days, and I did newborn photos for them, and yeah, it was a really, really great time. When I came back, I did a maternity session for my youngest sister. I think I mentioned that she's expecting her first, and she's the youngest of the 6 of us, so that was exciting too. So I did like a normal maternity session for them. They wanted the lifestyle like in their house, and then I was like, okay, and now I want to do a milk bath. And my sister was game for it, fortunately. So we kind of threw together a milk bath, and I thought it turned out beautifully. She has a lot of plants. She's a plant lady. And so I was like, okay, we're putting them all around the tub. So I surrounded her bathtub with the plants, and I had some flowers that I'd picked up on my way, and we made a milk bath, and I love how it turned out. So that was something fun. It was fun to like be creative, like outside of the norm for photography. I loved doing that. And it's good for me, like it gets me inspired again too. So did that. In kickboxing, I got my orange shirt, which is like, what the heck is an orange shirt? It's like I got graded, so it's not a belt, but it's my shirt is orange. So now I'm with the orange shirts, which not everyone wears the shirts, but before COVID they did. And so it was very important to me that I get graded. Actually, I'll tell you about that. I was petrified to go to kickboxing, but I wanted to go to kickboxing. So I've been kickboxing for 3 years now, but it took me a year to work up the nerve to go in the first place because I'd never been and I didn't know anyone that went there, and they had women's only classes, so I felt more comfortable. So I went to the women's only classes, and they don't do grading in those classes, and I kind of did want to get graded, but I was too intimidated to go to the co-ed classes. And then when COVID happened, there were only co-ed classes. Those were the only classes that you could do. So I was kind of forced into it. Now I would never go back. I love it. And now I could get graded. So now I'm an orange shirt. And it was nice for me to get that. It was important for me to get that because I was able to see like growth through COVID. Because even though I'd been kickboxing before COVID, I wasn't in a position to get graded. So I'm like, okay, COVID was really crappy, and I feel like I didn't do a ton during COVID. Not that you need to do anything during COVID, but it was, seeing my orange shirts shows me growth, like a visual of growth that I've done, and it makes me feel proud of myself. So it's like little things. I'm sure there's things like that in your life too, that you're like, oh, I did this. Or like maybe it's your cross stitch pieces and you're like, look, I made all these during COVID. Like, look at my growth, I grew. I didn't like shut down. I mean, actually I did shut down sometimes, and maybe you guys did too, but overall, like, it was waves, but like this is one way where I see my growth. So got my orange shirt. I said that to my mom, I'm like, I got my orange shirt. She's like, your Indigenous shirt? Because we have Orange Shirt Day here to honor and acknowledge, it's a National Day of Truth and Reconciliation for Indigenous people that live here and have always lived here. And so she thought I was talking about that. I'm like, no, yeah, I had my orange shirt for Orange Shirt Day, but no, I got my orange shirt for kickboxing. So that's a little mom story. Oh my gosh. Speaking of my mom, okay, remember I finished my piece for her, my mother piece. So we went, she just got back from Edmonton. She went for 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks. And before she left, we went to the framers to bring her mother piece. And so she picked a mat and a frame, and I heavily influenced that choice. She liked some other things, and I was like, no, this is the one. And she's like, oh, I trust you. And I'm like, this is the one. But I think it's gonna look so beautiful. She just picked it up yesterday, so I haven't seen it, but I think I did take a picture of the mat and the frame, so I'll put that in so you can kind of see what we were thinking there. And because her favorite color is mauve, and there were like mauves in it, and she liked the blues for a mat, but I was like, no, mauve, it's you, like feminine, you're feminine, you love mauve. Like, I was telling her who she was, you know. Anyway, so I'm excited to see it fully finished, and I'm sure she'll let me borrow it so I can show it here. I'll probably, or maybe I'll just make a video of it at her house, and then I can insert it into my next FlossTube. Yeah, that's basically my life update, I think. I made like a couple notes because last video I forgot to mention some things. Oh, I finally cleaned like the main floor of my house, which I hadn't done in a long, like, and I mean like deep clean. I deep clean loosely. Like, I mopped my floor, which I hadn't done during COVID, which is gross probably, but I just mentally couldn't get myself to do it. So I mopped the floors, I washed the walls. Well, I mopped the walls, they were disgusting. And like cleaned the chairs, I cleaned this level, and I've been like maintaining it, which feels good because I couldn't do it. I just like mentally couldn't do it, and now it's done. So that feels really good for me. And maybe it's seasonal, like because we're heading into spring. As I look out the window right there, like I can see snow on the ground because we just had some snow, but April is coming, or yeah, April's coming, spring is coming, it's coming. So we're on our way out of the darkness. We're on the better 6 months of the year, as I call them. Like, I love, okay, so it's January, February, March, April. Those are the 4, like, I want to say bad months. Like, November and December aren't great, but because of Christmas, I kind of like gloss over them. But like, we're headed into the better months where it starts to get nicer out, and spring, and then we're excited, and then it's summer and it's awesome, and then it's fall and we're like, woo, back to school, and then it's like Christmas, and then it's like January, February, March, and we're like, oh. So maybe that's why. Okay, enough about that. One thing I forgot to mention last video, which I just sound like such an ingrate by not having done it, but I forgot to give thank you to I did one group of thank yous for people that donated to the school's wish list, and then I wrote it down, I just forgot to say it. So I have to quickly give thank yous to, it's not on that paper, it's this one, Mary Lou, Heather, are Patricia, Louisa, Sheila, Jennifer, Cheryl, and Vicky. Thank you so much for your donations to the wish list, and everyone else that donated and everyone else that supported, and you guys are amazing. I can't believe that happened. So those are my thank yous. On to comments, because I didn't reply to any comments for like 2 videos, but I just did yesterday. I was watching The Last Kingdom, which is a show that I love. It's historical fiction, non-fiction. What do you call that? When it's like historically accurate, but then they like really embellish and like add in people that weren't there. It's one of those, and it's about Uhtred of Bedinburgh. I try and say it like them, I can't say it. It's like the Danes, and I love it. I was very invested in it, and I think that was the final season, season 5. It's Netflix. Last Kingdom, yeah. Main guy. Yeah. But anyways, it's like kind of low budget, but it's not low budget. It's just not like Hollywood. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. So anyways, comments. So I answered all the comments while I was watching The Last Kingdom, and now I just wanted to. Last video I talked about the Winter Olympics and how I had like my Winter Olympics crushes and like my curling guy, and Nitya and Forest City Stitching had a little conversation in the comment section about Kurt Browning, and he's their like Olympic crush, and it made me laugh because like I remember my sisters having a crush on him, and I remember we would go see like what's the skating, like it's not celebrity skating but Stars on Ice or whatever, and like he was there and we were like, oh my gosh. So anyways, just had to shout that out. If anyone else has an Olympic crush, feel free to leave it in the comments. I love knowing this. I love knowing who we have little crushes on. It's a very weird, specific type of crush, but I still want to know. Okay, well, I guess we covered all of that. We can get into the WIPS now. So if you don't know what March Stitchy Madness is, or I think it maybe has a different name, March Madness Cross-Stitching Edition, the Steel City Stitchers are the ones that have come up with it, and I will link their video if you're not sure what it is. You can join in and make it whatever you want. I kind of make it whatever I want, so it's kind of like March Madness basketball, but it's for cross stitch. So you would make a bracket. So I'm going to show my bracket, but I don't want to spoiler it, even though you're going to find out my results. I'm like, I want to keep it. So I chose 8 pieces: Gangsta Wrapper, Sunflower Girl, which was a new start, Quaker Snowflakes, Quaker Pumpkins, which is a new start, Little Women, Among Us, new start, Among Us, Autumn, which wasn't a new start, but I hadn't done much on it, and then My Mother's House. So those are the 8 pieces that I started with. So March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, I worked on those pieces. And so on March 1st, I did this one, March 2nd, I did this one, and then I posted where I was at after that day for both of them, and then made everyone on Instagram vote for which one moves on. And then same for these 2, same for these 2, and same for these 2. So after the votes, we had Sunflower Girl move on, Quaker Snowflake move on, Little Women, and oh, I didn't put it in, but I don't even know what it is. I think it's My Mother's House, but I'll double check the results. So I guess I don't need to hide that anymore. So anyways, so then I will be working on, which I have been, so then I think I spent 2 days on this one, 2 days on this one, and then there's a vote. 2 days on this one, 2 days on this one, and a vote. And then these 2 I spend like maybe 3 days each on, and then it goes to the winner. And then the rest of the month I work on the winner. So that's kind of how I do it. But again, watch Steel City Stitchers. You can do your own version of it. Like it can just be, like you don't even have to do 8, you can do 4, like whatever you want to do. But the goal is that you finish a piece at the end, which again, I just want to make progress. And like this really sparked my passion for cross stitching again, working on all these pieces. And so I'm going to show you. So the first one was Gangsta Wrapper by Jager and Yarn, I think it is. And this is for my sister Karen. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift, did not get it done in time. And then I was like, oh, I'll do it for her birthday, which is at the end of this month, but this one didn't get voted through, so we'll see. I love working on this little pattern. That's actually mostly the end. So once it goes all the way around, I think there's just like a red line here and a red line at the bottom, and then it's done. So pretty close to done. It's on I kept it on here, the name of the fabric. It's a 20 count Bolana ivory gold. So there's like the little glitter in it, and I'm stitching it 1 strand over 1. Oh no, 2 strands over 1. 2 over 1. Don't know if that's normal or not, but I'm liking it. I like how it's going. So anyways, but then I had to put that one away because it did not move on. this little ditty, Miss Sunflower bumped it out. So this is, my printer's not the greatest anymore for colors, so pardon the colors on this. This is what I bought last year, I think. And it's from Stitchy Princess. And she's a Ukrainian designer, and probably a lot of you know about her now because it's been shared a lot, and I shared it too. She has some really beautiful pieces, so I bought a few to try and support her because they're in trouble there in Ukraine, and she gives updates every time there's purchases from her shop. She's like, okay, we were able to, like, she's helping people with it, and also her own family, and she's lovely. Like, when I ordered this, like I said, it was about a year ago, and she personally messaged me and was like, let me know if there's any other ones that you like here's a discount code, like a coupon code, and she would check in. She's like, I saw that you like this one. And it wasn't the automated messages, because I know some Etsy shops can do this. It was personal, and I loved it, and she's a very lovely woman from what I know. Again, never met her in person, but our Etsy interaction. So I will link her Etsy shop if anyone wants to buy this piece. So when I'm doing it, I'm going to take out the summer part, and I'm just going to lower this down here. There's another one that's really beautiful. It's like a smaller version, but it's slightly different. I thought that's the one I had, so I posted that one, but actually this is the one that I bought. And I'll show you what I've got done on it. I'm stitching it on what I think is 18 count Fiddler's cloth, Fiddler's Light maybe. Yeah, I like went to Ada. I was like, what the heck, why not Ada? And it's a big piece of fabric. I think it's like a bit too long, but it was easy to cut that way, so I cut it long, but this is what I've got done. Okay, I'm really bad at showing you right now. I guess it's been too long. So this is the start of her dress, and this is her braid. Let's see if I can show it with this. So let's see. Really bad at holding things. There we go. If I lean it on my shoulder like that. So actually, this is supposed to be greens, and she put out different colors, like Ukrainian blue, so that you could change the color of the dress. Again, this is on the other one, the other sunflower one that I thought was this one, but so I chose two blues that I really liked, because the ones for the other piece didn't quite go with this one, so I chose these two and I love it. But I'm loving her hair, like doing this braid. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. So the braid will go up into her head. This is her neck. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this piece, and I think there's a hashtag if you're on Instagram and you want to check out some Ukrainian pieces, or you want to show support and inspire with your pieces. I think it's Stitch for Ukraine or Stitches for Ukraine. So I'll check that out, and I'll try and put it in the description box below so you can see. And I will have a link to this if you want to purchase this one. But check out her stuff. I bought a fairy one as well, which I guess I can show in haul, but I might forget. So I'll just show it now. It's a fairy one, and she has quite a few in that series. So definitely check out her work. Stitchy Princess on Etsy. So that was the second piece, and this one moved on. But I haven't done the votes yet, so I'm still, like, just pretend we're still in the first 8, because that's all I've done. My next piece that I stitched on for the next pairing was, I don't know why I did this, because it was like, it wasn't lose-lose, but it was like, I put myself in a position where I was gonna have to say goodbye to a piece that I really liked. So I did 2 Hello from Liz Mathews pieces against each other. Like, don't know what I was thinking there, but the first one was Quaker Snowflake by Hello from Liz Mathews, and I'm stitching this on Ada. This is an 18 count. The other one that was probably a 16 or a 14 count, the one that I just showed you, the Miss Sunflower, but this one is definitely 18 count. I can tell by looking at it. And I hand dyed this myself, this fabric, and I love it. I dyed it. I have a tutorial if you want to check that out. I'll link it, like I'll put it in it'll slide across or whatever. And then you can check that out if you want to try dyeing. I had thrifted like a whole bunch of Ada, like this included, like it was like a yard of it probably, and it wasn't in great shape. It was kind of dirty, and again, it was thrifted. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just try this out, and it turned out really nice, so I kept doing it. So I just cut a piece to do Quaker Snowflake, and I love it. I love how the white pops on there, and yeah, it takes a long time. Like, it took me a long time to like to get this in. So it takes longer than you think, because these small ones, they stitch up real quick, and then I'm like on a big one and I'm like, oh, I'm still working on that. Doesn't look like I've done much, but I'm using the called for DMC, and I'm doing 2 strands over 1 because it's Ada. So this was the next piece I worked on, and I put it against another Hello from Liz Mathews piece, Quaker Pumpkins, which was a new start. And I have no idea. This is a linen that I chose for it. I don't know what the count is. Obviously, like, I counted it with a pin before I like cut my fabric, because I used the like yarn tree calculator for like the size you need. So, and then I try and give myself a little extra in case I was off, but this is my start, just a tiny little start on this. It's like the stem of a pumpkin, but it was very fun to stitch that. Yeah, like literally, is that even 30 stitches? Maybe, I don't know, very small start, but it's a big piece. Like this is what we're looking with. This is what we're cooking with. Cooking with? I don't think that's an expression. This is what we're working with, maybe, is the expression I was looking for. And I'm stitching it 2 strands over 2. Because again, it's linen of some sort. I thrifted it, so I don't know. And then Quaker Snowflake won that one. So Quaker Snowflake will be going against Miss Sunflower. Who's gonna win? I don't know. And then I took out this old friend that we love so much, Little Women by Michael Jolly. And, oh, I had so much fun stitching on this. I did a lot of like this area. I kind of like, that's where I was going with it. So I think I'm working my way across now. And this is the biggest piece. I'll show you, if you don't remember how big it is. She's a big girl. Like, that's what we're working with here. But I love it. I'm worried that I'm gonna crease my fabric too much. I don't know, from folding it, because it's taking me a long time to work on this, but I'm stitching it on 25 count cream Lugana, and I'm stitching 2 strands over 2. So this is what I got. I got well, like a little bit of each of the girls. I haven't done any back stitch. That's gonna be something else when I have to do that. I don't know if I should just be doing it now or doing it later, but this is kind of what I'm working with. Mew, are you coming down or not? I'll just let her say hello. There she is. Oh, she smells like she just ate her food. I'm very sensitive to smells and very aware of smells. Okay, so that was Little Women, and it was up against, this is a really weird pairing that happened, a new start, which was Among Us. It's for my son, obviously not for me. Not that there's anything wrong with playing Among Us, but this is one that he wanted done. So who is it by? It's called Kinda Sus. Oh, Stitch to the Past. I think they might be Canadian. It's an Etsy shop, and I will link for sure so you can check them out, but it says IDK, which means I don't know. That's kinda sus. That's part of the game. You're trying to find out if people seem suspicious, they're probably the bad guys. So you're trying to figure that all out. So I was stitching this. I got that done. This fabric, oh my gosh, I love it. So my very best friend, when I first started this YouTube channel, she sent this to me as like a congratulations, and she ordered it from a cross stitch shop just down the road from her, actually, in Niagara Falls, Ontario, called Magic Hour Cross Stitch. I think they changed their name to Magic Hour Needlepoint, maybe? I'll double check that. Sorry guys, I forgot. But this is a hand-dyed piece. It's opalescent. I don't know if you can see, oh yeah, you can see the glitter there. And it's called Snowburst. So yeah, it's hand-dyed and then also has the opalescent. I love it so much. So I cut it in half because this was a like 14 by 19. Is that, I don't know what that is. Is that a fat half? Fat quarter? No, not sure. Shouldn't try and guess because they really don't know. But I'm using the other half because it kind of looks like clouds. I'm using the other half for my Back to the Future piece because they fly in the second one. I guess, no, it is the second one. They don't fly in the first one. I guess technically at the end, Doc picks up Marty and he's flying, but yeah, roads where we're going. We don't need roads. Anyways, So back to Among Us. This is what I did start, is the Among Us one. And like just the fabric is just gorgeous. Love it. And it is 18 count. So I just stitched 2 over 1 for it. And my son's excited. I'm excited. Actually, this stitched very quickly, much quicker than I thought it would. And it's one I'll keep working on. But it did not win. Little Women won, of course. It was like a really weird pairing. The pairings, I just threw this bracket together the day of, like day 1, March 1st, when I'm supposed to start. I was like, oh, I better just do this quick and then I'll start something. So it was pretty random, but I was very excited to do it because I remember I had a lot of fun doing it last year. Okay, and then I pulled this one out. This was my 7th, so March 7th, what I would have worked on. Autumn by Cottage Needleworks. I always look so concerned if my face is in the background because I'm focused on it. Can you see this or not? Very cute piece. My sister, the one that's pregnant, actually picked this up for me when she was in Victoria, and there was a cross stitch shop and she thought it was cute, and I love it. So I pulled that one out, and that's what I got done. Pumpkins, apples. This is another mystery linen. This is the one that I was using as like a background, I guess. When I would do photos, I would like put objects on it. That was before I started cross stitching, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I can stitch on this. It's like kind of thick, but I love it. I've stitched a few things on it, so no clue what the count is, no clue anything about it. I'm doing 2 strands over 2 though, and I like it. So that was Autumn, and it went against my oldest WIP I have, the first like big, not big piece, but like, I want to say mainstream piece, but it's by Barrick, My Mother's House. I'll bring it closer. And I'm stitching it on 25 count cream Lugana, and I'm stitching 3 strands over 2. So she's thick, this girl. So I finished the house because the house needed a little more. I think I had a couple more rows in the house, and then I started the roof. And then, so once the roof's done, then I just have 1 more flower here. And then there's a few little teensy little like 12 stitch, what do you call them? Like little flower details. And then there's the initials. So I need to put the initials in. So I'm gonna be mapping the initials out soon. And it'll be nice to finish this one because I love it. I love the colors. I put 1973 there. That's when my parents got married, because that's my mother. It says there's no place like my mother's house, built in 1973. I mean, their house wasn't built then and they lived in a different house, but I'm embellishing this story. This will be my historical nonfiction. Yeah, no, historical fiction. It is fiction. Like, I only read nonfiction, which is real things, true things. So that would make this fiction, but it's historical fiction because historically accurate, but it's fictitious. Okay. Glad we resolved that at the end of this video and not at the beginning when I was spiraling about it. So those 2 went against each other, and I think My Mother's House won. So I'm gonna keep working on my pieces, and then you'll see next week, I guess. You might know the winner. I keep saying next week. I've never done a weekly video, but in a few weeks when I film again, you'll see the winner of that one. Okay, let's get into, future plans. I'll just mention my future plans because it is March. So if you remember last year, Merritt Crawford and I, she has a FlossTube Thread Tails, the So Just Because Buzz is, or if you have her on Instagram, So Just Because, she quilts, she does everything, she's lovely. Merritt and I did a stitch along last year, Strawberry Pickin' Sal, and that was 21 for 2021. So now we're gonna do Strawberry Pickin' 22 Sal. So I finished my piece. It was Strawberry Fields Forever, if you remember. If you didn't finish your piece, just keep working on it. But we're starting March 20th with Strawberry Pickin' Sal 2022, or just 22. This is the piece I've picked, but I might abandon it because it has things in it, like it has stitches in it that I'm not familiar with. So there's a diamond eyelet, cable stitch, cluster blocks, eyelet, Smyrna, queen stitches, and then I think, what do you call it? I want to say like hardinger, but I don't know if that's true. It's when you like make holes in it. So I don't know. This is the piece that I had picked. It's called Summer Strawberries by Patricia Ann Designs. But now I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I mean, what did they say? Baptism by fire? Is that a made up thing? something by fire. Trial by fire? No. Sometimes you just have to jump in and do it. Even when you're not ready and you don't know what you're doing, sometimes that's how you learn how to do it. So that might be what happens, or I might switch it out, but I hope everyone joins in again because it was so fun following the hashtag and seeing all the strawberry pieces everyone was working on. So there's no real rules, just have a strawberry in it. And we start, March 20th is the first day of spring, and I guess that's when the strawberries start to grow. So that's why we do that, because Merritt's smart. She's the one that knew that, not me. Okay, and then my haul from the Craft Connection. So in Alberta, someone gave me a tip on here and it was very helpful. So they were like, when you're there, make sure you buy things like not more than you were going to, but like just remember the tax is a lot less there than it is here. And oh my goodness, was that true? I don't even know. So our tax is 13%, like our sales tax. So when you buy something, whatever the price on it, you then have to like add 13% to that because that's what it will actually cost. And it's very shocking to some people because you see a tag. I know in Pennsylvania they don't have tax, but it's 13%. So it's just never, you just don't know how much things cost unless you like whip out your calculator in, or unless it's $1. Then you're like, oh, this will cost $1.13. So anyways, it used to be 15% here. It is now $1.13, but or 13%. And then in Alberta, I don't know if it's 5% or 7% or something, but it's less. So anyways, someone was like, make sure you buy things there because you'll save some money, and it's true. So I bought a Mill Hill, bought this one, Candy House. Sorry for the glare. Oh, there we go. I think that's better. I think you can see that better there. I bought this little kit. Oh, all the prices are on, so sorry if that's tacky, but just know I didn't pay 13% on those prices. It's gingerbread house globe. And I think it's so cute. We did, on my dad's side of the family, every Boxing Day we had a candy house contest. So every family would bring a candy house and it would be judged by the previous year's winner. Very fun. So this makes me think of that. Whoa, throwing it around. This makes me think of that, and I thought it was a cute little snow globe, and comes with everything in the kit, the beads and the floss, and we'll see how that goes. I bought Mermaid Fractor. Oh gosh, I'm probably saying that weird. Fractor. It's by Plum Street Samplers. I'll just show it to you. I'll let you read that. I can read, I just sometimes read things weird. I should really just take it out of the plastic for you, but what the heck? Yeah, I'm a mermaid girl. I feel like that might make me sound basic, but I really always have been. And as insane as this might make me sound, I truly believed that I would find out I was a mermaid one day, like when I was a kid. Really thought that was gonna happen. Did not happen. There's still time. I wish it was real. It's not real. Okay, then I got this one, Peace on Earth by Cottage Garden Samplings. Love this one. Love a cardinal. Love the fabric color there. I did not pick up the fabric. See, I'm so indecisive when it comes to fabrics, like using called for fabrics. I don't know what my deal is, but is that better? Here we go. I'll just show it like that. Yeah, love this. It's like got some Quaker vibes to it. I'm not gonna love doing that big red house. Maybe I will. Who knows? Did not buy the fancy floss because I'm a DMC enthusiast and I just really like DMC. I do have some fancy flosses, but not one. And then I bought a Prairie Schooler Birdsong 1. I'm probably gonna change the colors on this. They're a little like 2000s-y, like early 2000s for me, even though I don't know when this was made. 2006, boom, nailed it. Yeah, that's the OG, is 2006. Anyways, it says, a bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. I don't know what that means. If I thought about it deeper, I'm sure I would. I just like it. I like that it says that, and maybe that's exactly what I just said. Like, I don't know what it means. I just do it. Like, I just like it. Just sing because you like it. It doesn't have to be a reason. So that's silly that just happened. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna change the colors. Maybe make the blues a little lighter or brighter. Like maybe like one of these colors. This like bluey, whatever that is, seafoamy. I don't know, because I like that color. Then I picked up some different linens. I got just like a gray, some opalescent. You can't even really see because of the glare. This is a 32 count white opalescent. I got ivory Lugana in 28 count. getting crazy, even though it still just looks like cream, but these are just like little sample cuts. I did get this one that I know a lot of people stitch on. I don't know how I feel about it, but I was like, I'm gonna try it. I may as well try it. Raw white dot Belfast linen, 32 count. And then just like a 32 count dark cobblestone 12 by 12 piece. So I just picked those up because I was like, oh, what the heck? And then I picked up this frame because everyone's like got the Mill Hill frames. I know Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch uses them a lot for finishing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up a white one and maybe I'll just like love it. And I was like, now is the time when I don't have to pay 13% tax. And then I picked up this little sled for one of the Lizzie Kate finishes because I have the Lizzie Kate ones that are the sled shapes. So I was like, oh, I may as well pick one up and finish it properly. So that was my haul from there. I didn't go like too crazy, but it was expensive. It did add up, all of it. But not as expensive as it would have been if I bought it here in Ontario. Still supporting my Ontario shops, do not get me wrong, but when I was there, I may as well. And then I picked up this for $1 at the thrift store. This was here in Ontario. And it's like, I'm gonna tear it open right now. Some things that I don't need in it, but it's like a wad of the plastic canvas, like for cross stitching. There's like this color, and this color, and this color, and like all the different, like there's so many pieces of it. There's like a yellowy one, there's like white, there's clear, and then there's this, which I don't need. This is for like rug hook, or like, I think so. I think this is like a rug hooking piece, which I will just donate that back. But I thought it was fun to have these. I don't think I'll ever use it all up in my lifetime, but I thought it would be fun because like that's what I used for ornaments. So if I ever want to like make another ornament and I run out, then I can just use these. Yeah, what does it say on it? It smells like it smells old. Yes, it replaces Aida cloth and perforated paper. Use with any charted pattern. Not any pattern, like this isn't that big, but anyways, yeah. Okay, so I guess it was like 99 cents at Michael's at one point, each sheet of this, but I got it in a pack for $1. $1.13 because there was sales tax on them. Anyways, okay, that was a lot of chit chat about sales tax. So that's my haul. That's what I've been up to is March Stitchy Madness, and I'm loving it, and it's been really good for me to be doing that. So thank you to the Steel City Stitchers, and thank you all for watching. That was a lot crammed into an episode. I don't know when I'll be back. I've been kind of just doing it when I can, and then I would love to get back to every 2 weeks, but I'm not there yet, and you guys are so understanding. I appreciate that. Yeah, stay tuned so you can see who wins March City, no, that's Steel City Stitchers, March Stitchy Madness. And let me know who you want to win in the comments. If you want to vote, go to my Instagram. It's at StitchuationNormal, right here, at StitchuationNormal, and then you can vote. I put it in my story, so if you don't know what that means, it's like a circle with my face on it. I'm bad at describing things. I won't try and describe it, but you can ask someone and they can help you. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so I don't think I'll be back before, but I'm going to, so April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Brampton, Ontario, here, not far from me, is a cross stitch retreat, Stitch North. So I'm going with one of my best friends. She likes to cross stitch too, and she and I will be there stitching away and checking out the vendors. There's some vendors and just like cross stitch room with tables, and you just cross stitch for 3 days, which what's better than that? Or you're with people that cross stitch too. So I don't know what I'm gonna bring because I just love talking. So I feel like that might override my focus on the stitch and then I will mess up. So I'll bring a piece that I'm not worried about messing up maybe. Maybe I won't mess up. Maybe we'll all be focused. I doubt it. We'll all want to talk. So I'm looking forward to meeting a bunch of you there. I know there's some of you that watch that'll be there, and there's some shop owners that I know that are going to be there that I'm going to meet for the first time, and it's going to be awesome. So I'll have some footage from that and some updates after that as well. So I hope everyone has a really good March, and thank you for watching. I will be back at some point, as I already said, and that was episode 40. So keep stitching your story, and I will see you next time.